The Cincinnati Bengals will be playing host to the Jacksonville Jaguars this Thursday night as two former number 1 overall picks, Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow, go head-to-head on Thursday primetime football. Now, typically when I do these preview videos when the team's going up against the Jags, because I'm a Jags YouTuber, I love talking about the opponent first, what they did well in the prior game, and then also what they need to do in order to beat the Jags and everything that they've been doing leading up to this game. Now, when it comes to the Bengals, they're currently sitting at 2-1. Obviously, Joe Burrow is in his sophomore year after suffering that terrible leg injury that he had last year, if I remember correctly. I believe it was a leg injury. Then they obviously got Jamar Chase this year in the draft, who's played very, very good through the first 3 games. 11 catches, 220 yards, and 4 touchdowns. You still got Joe Mixon. I don't believe T. Higgins will be there. I think he'll be missing his 2nd straight game. Don't quote me on that. And then Tyler Boyd as well. They've got some nice weapons over there. Defensively, you've still got guys like Jesse Bates, Eli Apple, and a handful of others. Their defense is really nothing to rave about, but they did do a very solid job this past weekend beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-10. And the reason I'm not super intrigued with this matchup is specifically because I feel like talent-wise, the Jags and the Bengals are pretty close, at least in terms of talent. Now, obviously, the Bengals are the better team as we speak. They're 2-1 in the tough AFC North, whereas the Jags are 0-3 and have lost 18 consecutive games. But the last 2 weeks, I have seen the Jags get a lot better. I would still favor the Bengals to come out and win this game, especially because the Jags played horrible last year on Thursday night primetime football. I was at that game versus the Dolphins. And not only that, the Bengals just right now are the better team. Until the Jags go out there and prove to me that they will actually go out there and win a game, I will not go out there and predict them to win a game. So the Bengals right now should be favored to win this game. I expect them to win this game. Of course, I think that the Jags will be right there in this game because I feel as if talent-wise, these two teams are very, very close in talent. Now, when I transition more into the Jags side of things, I think that the Jags really need to get that run game going to kind of keep Joe Burrow and this offense off the field. And that's going to start with a guy like James Robinson, who's averaging 5.2 yards per carry, had a very solid week in his best game of the campaign of the 2021 season so far. 15 carries, 88 yards, and he had that 1 touchdown as well. Carlos Hyde had some nice production as well. Trevor Lawrence was doing a lot of RPOs, getting himself out of the pocket, using his legs a lot more, and I think running the clock, controlling the time of possession, controlling the tempo, and also just managing the clock properly will be huge to the Jags, keeping Joe Burrow and this team off the field. So I think that's going to be something that the Jags definitely need to utilize. And speaking of the run game, and Joe Mixon's been one of the most consistent running backs in the NFL at least the last 5 years, and at least in recent memory as well. And Joe Mixon, solid game last week versus the Steelers, 18 carries, 90 yards. But the Jags' run defense has had a complete turnaround in comparison to last year to this year. They're only averaging 3.6 yards defensively rushing, which is tied for 6th in the NFL. You love to see it because last year I believe they were averaging over 5 yards per carry rushing, which was horrendous to put it plain and simple. And that was like 31 or 32 in the NFL in terms of ranks. They were just a horrible run defense, and they've significantly gotten better with this 3-4 defensive scheme that they're running now. And Joe Cullen just coming over from the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Jags are doing a lot of great things defensively. They definitely limited Kyler Murray in that explosive offense last weekend, especially without their top guy, CJ Henderson. And if you want to hear my thoughts on CJ Henderson, I will link to that video right there for you guys to listen to. But back to the point, though, I think that the Jags defensively just really need to get in there and stop a guy like Joe Mixon. And I think that if they can get the ball back, control the time of possession, this is going to be huge to come out with a road win. But I'm still picking the Bengals to win this game. I don't really give predictions. You know, when I do these preview videos, I'm just keeping it real. The Bengals are the better team right now. Like, the Jags are 0-3. I don't really know what you guys want me to say. And then when it comes to the special teams phase, because I obviously have to mention that with the Jags, Lambo, I'm assuming, is going to get cut. Like, I haven't heard any news since the Arizona game, whether he got cut or not. I don't believe he got cut. I know that we did sign another kicker after we traded for Dan Arnold, but I don't really know what the kicker situation is going to look like. My guess is Josh Lambo's not going to run out of that field and be kicking field goals for the Jags versus the Cincinnati Bengals. It was fun while we had you, but that's just my guess. I don't really know the actual predicaments on whether Josh Lambo will be kicking for us. And then how can I not mention Jamal Agnew, Duval's Devin Hester? I mean, can't say enough about the guy. Week 2, return to kick return for a touchdown. I was at the game versus Denver. Unfortunately, I had to miss the Arizona game due to some circumstances I had to deal with in my personal life. And then week 3, you know, Jamal Agnew takes it 109 yards to the house. Unfortunately, I had to miss that game due to some personal reasons. So I was very upset about that. But Jamal Agnew, I mean, you can't say enough about the guy. Look, I love Jamal Agnew. Me and all my homies, we love Jamal Agnew. And I want to do a little quick side note real quick for all the Jag fans, so I have it there on receipt. Jamal Agnew, if you ever see this video, and I hope you do when I come back to this at the end of the season, I said to you during training camp when we had a conversation, I said, hey, look, man, how many touchdowns do you think you're going to get this year? He said, nah, probably like 5. I was like, nah, bro, you getting 10. I was like, because I know you're going to get some on special teams. I think you'll get 1 or 2 on offense. I remember this. And I said, you're going to get 10. I said, hey, look, man, Jamal, remember me as the guy that said you're going to get 10 touchdowns this year. He's like, all right, bro. He's like, bet. He's like, I got you. So, I mean, obviously, he's warming up, doing his thing, but I made a quick little conversation with him. You guys, if Jamal Agnew gets 10 touchdowns, I need you guys to blow this up for me and get him to come back to this conversation or something. I just want to put this out there, though, because I have receipts, and I've always believed in Jamal Agnew. Like I said, I love Jamal Agnew. Me and all my homies, we love Jamal Agnew. But that's really it when it comes to this preview video. I mean, like I said, the Cincinnati Bengals, as we speak, are currently the better team. They've got more wins than us, and, they just had a great victory versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Jags, who are 0-3, are looking to bounce back, get their first win after nearly beating the Arizona Cardinals after just shooting themselves in the foot a couple of times. But I'm expecting a very good game, both sides of the ball, and I'm hoping that the Jags can come out with a win. Cincinnati fans, Jaguar fans, doesn't matter. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. I want to hear what you guys are expecting from this game, and specifically Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, the 2 headlines coming into this game. But Jags Nation, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, turn on notifications, and hit that subscribe bell for me. It only takes a moment, and it helps me and the channel out tremendously. If you guys want more Jacksonville Jaguars and NBA content that I do here on YouTube. But Jags Nation, Bold City, 904, Duval, baby. It's Brett James, a.k.a. BJ. I'm out, y'all. Peace.